Welcome back to Pentiment. The Baron has been murdered, and we need to find out who actually did it. To get an idea of what happened, Brother Florian invited us to his examination of the Baron's body. So let's go back to the abbey. Andreas, this way. There you are. I'm glad the storm didn't delay you. Now, even though I gave instructions that I was not to be disturbed, we must work quickly. Seeing a corpse up close can be unsettling for some. I hope you're up to it. Well, I'm not sure, but I want to help Piero. I've seen many animal corpses in the wilds in various states of decay. Human death is also part of nature. I studied medicine for a while in university. We saw dead bodies. I'll be fine. I've paid it. Yeah, we did that, right? I don't know if we saw dead bodies, but well, if that's an option. Seeing a dead body is different from examining one directly. Now then, you should probably take notes as we go. They might be useful later. Of course. We can draw what we see, right? He's so thin. I will begin by inspecting his interior, starting with the face and head. No visible wounds, no blemishes, teeth in good condition, nothing unusual. Neck, shoulders, and chest are ordinary. I need to clean some blood away to examine the torso. Yes, there it is. A puncture wound between the 6th and 7th rib. It's fairly shallow though. I estimate it penetrated only about an inch, and it likely came from his own hand. What? Only an inch, and it came from his own hand. Wait, he inflicted on himself? How can you tell? But that doesn't sound deep enough to have killed him. That's a good question. Yeah. But all the blood. Maybe he fell on the knife? Maybe it was an accident? It wasn't. It's likely incidental. Received while falling on his own knife. Yeah. Okay. He must have some other wound that issued forth all the blood we found in him. Yeah, that's it. So only a tiny scratch wouldn't cause all that blood. So he was not killed with a knife. Then surely this must mean that Brother Piero is innocent. What do you think killed him? I mean, maybe another step, there's blood on his back head. Maybe he fell in his knife and then somebody used the opportunity and, I don't know, knocked him over with a baseball bat. What do you think killed him? I don't know. I can't even speculate. All I can do is examine his body and hope that you can figure out the rest. Simply pointing out the implausibility of Brother Piero striking the fatal blow may not be enough to convince the Archdeacon. Brother Piero never should have picked up that knife. I'm sure the appearance of guilt never even crossed his mind. Yeah, that's it. Now then, let's move on. Well, there's a sore on his sex, probably from the French disease. I doubt it had anything to do with his murder. What's the French disease? The disease French soldiers received in the brothels of Naples. Ah! Yes. How do you know of it? Maybe we have been to a brothel in Naples. We discussed it in university. Ah, yes. It spread rapidly, even north of the Alps. The treatment is dire, as it involves heavy mercury consumption. Oh my goodness. Anyway, it seems the Baron was not the most faithful husband, not uncommon among the nobility, and that also strengthens our suspicion that he bothered women, as well the nuns, as well as the women in town, right? So this is a consistently appearing issue. I mean, we know that he used to be a soldier. Moving down. Other than a few blisters on his feet from what I assume are new shoes, there's nothing wrong with his legs. Andreas, can you help me turn him over? Of course. There's a slight irregularity in his spine, possibly from an old injury. I don't think it has anything to do with how he died, though. Understand the Baron enjoyed hiking in the wilderness. The most beautiful places are often the most difficult to reach. It's easy to get injured if you aren't careful, especially if you're in a truly wild and remote place. It seems like a silly thing to risk your life for, but I'm not one to talk. Whatever the reason, it didn't contribute to his death. Here it is, a rather dramatic head wound. Whew. The dark hair and the blood make it difficult to see, but it's quite bad. In my experience, I've never seen someone walk away from a head wound of this severity. I imagine the force of the impact would have to be quite great to crack the skull. Quite right. I see your medical training was not forgotten. I lack the benefit of university study, but the battlefields of Poland and Lithuania did provide an education of sorts. I wish I had finished my degree. I could be of more use to you now. There's no need to despair. Many hands would make more work in this instance. The wound looks like it was caused by a single powerful blow from a blunt object, probably no more than 4 or 5 inches across. A baseball bat. How can you tell? The skull is cracked in a single spot, and there's a clear impression in the skin around it. It would take an extraordinary precision to hit the same spot twice, unless the Baron were already dead. It's likely he didn't die immediately. How long he could have survived for? I've seen similar injuries in battle. The victims don't last more than a few minutes, but it's an agonizing death. Even so, he couldn't have wandered far from where the blow was first struck. So he may not have been attacked in the chapter house? He was either attacked in the chapter house or someplace in the immediate area. But then there would be more blood, right? Outside, I mean, that's possible, but the problem is that the rain would have washed away the blood of the scene of crime. I mean, no, I don't think so. With a wound like that, he would have collapsed before he got inside. And certainly someone would have seen him. Anyway, whatever killed the Baron was a blunt instrument of considerable heft. The part that impacted him was likely a little smaller than a fist. That's stupid. I'd say 2 to 2.5 inches around. Perhaps a big mallet, a joining hammer, or even a round stone 4 to 5 inches across held in the hand. That's specific. Estimating size, distance, and number have always come easily to me. Hopefully your talents will help you find the murder weapon in short order. Whoever did this must have caught the Baron unaware. Save the small knife wound, he has no other injuries. I suppose that he was struck, drew his knife to defend him, and fell on it before Brother Piero discovered him. So I believe we've discovered 2 important things. Piero didn't stab the Baron, and even if he had, that isn't what killed him. The Baron was killed by a blow to the head from a heavy blunt object. Yes, exactly. If you can find what caused the blow, it might lead you to the killer. We also know that Piero didn't stab the Baron. We know that, and I suspect even the abbot knows that, but you may need more evidence to convince the archdeacon. Oh, there's one other item of interest. I found it in the Baron's jacket, but didn't want to open it without you. It's nice that he trusts me that well. Or that much. A note of some kind. As I'm caretaker of men, you are a caretaker of parchment. I leave it to your capable hands. Oh, thank you. Das Mädchen, das starb und die Unschuld mit ihr. Maturin Kapitelhaus. It says the girl who died, and the innocence died with her. Then that's, I think, an hour or a time attitude, and that's the chapter house. What does it say? Ah, he knows German too. The girl who died, and the innocent with her. Matins chapter. Matins is 2 a.m. So in the morning. The girl who died, and the innocent with her. Matins chapter. The girl? What girl? And what innocent? So most probably he raped girls from the village and the nuns. And while doing so, he killed one of them? Someone from the village? That could be anyone, and I'm not as familiar with the families as you are. Can you tell who wrote it? It's definitely someone with a great deal of experience as a scribe, but it can't be ad hoc or Guy. Someone with an extraordinarily refined hand. This was done without any guides. They're not an Italian, I can tell you that. Italian scribes use humanist script. This is a highly refined Gothic hand. Yeah, that's more specific, and if we know it, we can just guess that. As good as Adok and Guy are, I don't think they could replicate this. What? Really? If not them, who? I intend to find out. I wish you good luck finding the answer. Now, I'm sorry to rush you, but I must ask you to leave. Every minute you stay here is additional Uh-oh. Were you expecting someone? Brother Florian, could you open up? It's Werner Stolz, the physician from Passing. Yes, I'm in the middle of something. Could you return after supper? I'm afraid it can't wait. Father Gernot asked me to examine the Baron's body. All right, just give me a moment. Andreas, I need you to hide yourself. Of course. That's not a very good hiding spot, is it? No. Ah, Dr. Stolz. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now, what did you need? The abbot wanted me to examine the Baron's body before his wife arrives. It seems unnecessary at this point, as I've just completed my own examination. Well, then what's the harm in letting me take a look? Dr. Stolz, with all respect, I've finished. The cause of death is clear. If you had arrived an hour ago, I would have had no problem with your assistance. Assistance? I'm a university-trained physician. I can examine a corpse on my own without the help of battlefield sawbones. Regardless of your opinions regarding my abilities, the examination is finished. Let him have a look. The more people know that he didn't get stabbed, the better, right? If you insist on inspecting the body anyway, I must insist that the abbot tells me himself. What? Making me bring the abbot here is a waste of time. So is performing an examination on his corpse immediately after one was just completed. Idiotic. I return with Father Gernot presently. I mean, he just wants to get rid of him so that we can leave, right? That was the plan. That was close. Now quickly, leave through the cloister before they return. Ah yeah, okay, he did that only for us. Of course, thank you, Prelate Florian. Whew, think nothing of it. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, I thought we could maybe overhear what they say. That would have been useful, right? I should find someone to eat with. I can't get that note out of my head. The girl who died and the innocent with her. What could it mean? And who wrote it? Can I now still talk to Cecilia? I wonder. We try. She's gone. Oh, right, she's at supper. And there's nothing here that we could investigate with her not being here, right? Oh, a plant object. He could have been killed with a cross. And I cannot go back to the church. Right? Doors are open. We could just sneak in and get to the library. We still need to save a book. That's even more important than finding the murderer. Oh, there is a horse missing. Interesting. Can we get... No. They blocked us from getting in. Oh! She's here. Does she know? Fürstchen. What is that? What is this? A letter to the Baron from Prior Barons? Baron Rotvogel. Trotz Trotz eurer wiederholten Aufforderungen und unterschwelligen Drohungen, den Inquisitoren in Innsbruck meine Lesegewohnheiten zu offenbaren, werde ich bei eurem Besuch in Kielsau keine Rituale für euch durchführen. Bitte beendet dieses törichte Streben sofort, zum Wohle unserer beider Seelen. My God, Lawrence was blackmailing Ferenc to get him to perform some kind of occult ritual. No wonder Ferenc was so unsettled when Lawrence arrived. The Baron could have gotten him executed for witchcraft. Okay, let me try to translate that. Baron Rothvogel, despite asking me repeatedly and despite your subliminal threats to report my reading habits to the Inquisitors of Innsbruck, I will not perform any rituals for you during your visit in Kirsau. Please cease, or please immediately stop this foolish ambition for the sake of both our souls, Ferenc. So what kind of rituals does he want him to perform? Goodness. I hope we'll learn more about that. Ritual letter. Which one is it? Ferenc said he would not perform a ritual for the Baron, even if the Baron threatened to turn him into Inquisitors in Innsbruck. Oh, we took it. Ah, Master Mahler, would you care to share supper at my table? I would like to talk to you about my late husband. Oh, there we get supper. Yeah, of course. Please lead the way. Thank you. Please sit. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ, O Lord. Amen. Amen. I find myself rather out of place here, without the comfort of the Baron. Thank you for agreeing to share a meal with me, Master Mahler. Of course, the honor is mine. It's a terrible thing, what happened to the Baron. You must have been staying nearby. Do we suspect her too? Why not, right? Let's not rub it under her nose, though. It has given me the shock of my life. The shock of my life. I'm trying to find comfort where I can, in my ladies and the Lord. Oh. Not that there's much comfort to be found in these cold and dreary Alpine towns. Lawrence and I had meant to take a tour of them before returning home to Worms, but, well, return we shall. I'm sorry for your loss, my lady. This sorrow is just the first of many, I'm afraid. Are you married yourself, Master Mahler? A woman waits for me in Nuremberg. When I finish my work here, we will be wed. Do you not look forward to the responsibilities of marriage, Master Mahler? Perhaps it's no surprise you and Lawrence became fast friends. I imagine he saw something of himself in you. Oh my. He even gave you one of his pins. He must have been quite fond of you. Oh right, we are wearing it. Do you mean to say you knew of his excursions Rarely have I met someone with such depth of knowledge and a thirst for debate. I mean, of course she knew. His thirsts were not limited to his scholarly pursuits, regrettably. Yeah, she knew, and she's telling us willingly. His lusts for drink and women once afflicted him with great remorse, though such shame faded with time. Lawrence was a flawed man. His various infidelities were no secret to me. But are we not all flawed before Christ? I loved him as a wife should properly love her husband, but I would not say that we were friends. I only hope his appetites are not what led him to this end. I've been searching for the answer to that quandary myself. Were you and Lawrence so close that you would trouble yourself so? I fear the abbot and the archdeacon will be led to inaccurate conclusions by circumstantial evidence. Yeah, let's not tell her. But the situation is more complex than it appears. I'm afraid I can say no more than that. I see. Well, I suppose it shouldn't surprise me that my husband made his share of enemies. He was a man of many opinions, and he gave them freely to all who would listen, and some who would not. The previous abbot, Father Matthias, seemed to appreciate that about him. This new abbot is perhaps more conservative. Father Matthias was an open-minded man, from all I have heard, a true scholar. Father Gernot doesn't share Matthias's passion for the written word, yet endures the expense of it. To be put in such a position would make any man unhappy, I understand. I wonder what he will make of Lawrence's gift to the abbey. The book. He had found a book about the history of Tassing. He believed it contained some scandalous details. He said it corroborated fears Father Matthias had expressed, but he didn't share the particulars with me. What was the appearance of the book? Peculiar or noteworthy in any way? It was neither large nor small, bound in blue leather. Unfortunately, I never examined it closely. My apologies. Blue leather. Normal size. I'm sorry I can't be of more help. I have some education, but I lack my husband's thirst for knowledge. If you find the book, hopefully its significance will be apparent. Do you plan to stay in Tassing long? Will you be returning home to Worms soon? Only so long as it takes the archdeacon to investigate my husband's murder. Though the circumstances of my time here are dire, I'm in no hurry to return. Why is that, if I may ask? I shouldn't. I see a glimmer now of what Lawrence saw in you. You are a disarming man, Master Mahler, and much too easy to talk to. To be frank, I do not know what will become of me when I return to Worms. My title and residence may be in jeopardy. Lawrence and I have a son, but he is young yet. I don't know many of the legalities, only that my position is at some risk. You're in a difficult position, my lady. I will pray for your happiness. As will I, Master Mahler. I'm sorry to cut our conversation short, but I fear I must rest. Thank you for having me at your table. be well, Master Mahler. And whatever anyone says of my husband, I'm certain he appreciated your friendship. Dang. I should get some sleep. She was here really quickly. So the thing is, now we haven't talked to any of the other suspects. But I think it was an either-or situation, right? We couldn't have just did both. So now in the morning, we have to talk to all the other people before we return to the Abbey, for sure. So let's run home real quick. And if nothing specific happens... I mean... We could see, yeah, the houses are closed now. And I don't think that the people are willing to talk to me at night. And if we don't see any suspicious action on the way back... No, nobody's here. Just go straight to bed and end the episode. And then next morning we'll talk to everybody. And I hope we have the time to do so. And we know a lot of details now. So we should be able to find out something about that murder. But we turned from Mahler to detective quite quickly, didn't we? Okay, well, let me go to bed and end the episode. It's getting late. I should get some rest. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Have a wonderful and adventurous day, and goodbye.